Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Brady. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 50 yards. And the Bucs continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball?
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try.
Buccaneers 22, Vikings nothing.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And a couple yards deep will go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least...
He's got a man, complete! And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. That'll be caught. It's Reagor. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, 26 yards. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football will have to be played. And he is going to get in there for the 2 points to make this a 12-point game.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Brady's throw on target to Godwin here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
A throw on the money to Reagor. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games. but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and this certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them the belief back that they can win in the second half.
45's the mark. Here we go.
They'll run it with Madison, and he will get into the end zone. So a perfect finish to the half. They get the touchdown on the final play, and 2 more for good measure. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Bucks with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
and they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw again on second down. Brady. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Brady to throw again. He's got White here. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Brady. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. First down, here's White. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Brady. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
third down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 18 on play. And the Vikings first down.
A first down throw for Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
On second down, Cook. And he's able to get across midfield and down to the Buccaneer territory. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They go play action. Cousins. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
That's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down on a well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. Cousins now. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Cousins again. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we have put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Up the gut, Fournette. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, Fournette. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Inside handoff down Fournette. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Brady. Escaping the pressure right. And a catch right side by Evans. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A handoff to Fournette. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Now Brady. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Jim. Hatchet. Switty hit. Alabama. Switty hit.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And he's got it. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape ball over the passing lane.
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
He's got Rager and some room to work. And they work this out past the 25. Cousins to throw. A huge mistake late. It's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Brady going to throw here. Flush to his right. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Well, just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And all the way down inside the 5 of the 4. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to it.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And with time a factor here late, they'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Vikingsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now Cousins. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there.
Here's Cousins. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he will get in. The 2-point conversion is good. And we may be on our way to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save call is to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw is Brady. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. So it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Brady. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Lewis Cine. We say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
They'll start on the ground here. Been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 4 quarters not enough for all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lavonte David. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. What a gigantic interception here in the first drive of overtime. And now, Charles, with where they're at on the field, I mean, they're already in field goal range to win this thing.
And the head coach is just talking to the special teams coordinator right now and saying, okay, where does he want the ball position? Because that's all you're going to do on offense. Move it to that spot. Make sure you take care of the football and probably third down, kick the field goal, and try and win this game.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. Oh, and it's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. So an interception on one side and then an interception on the other. So both quarterbacks, Charles, with turnovers here in overtime.
So apparently one good defensive play deserves another. Both sides coming up big in overtime, both getting interceptions, trying to set up their teams to score and win the game.
And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Fighting to the ball carrier there was Carlton Davis, and he finishes that play off.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. third down. Here's a run by Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 28-yard touchdown run. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game in the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.